How are you guys? Good morning.
I have bags under my eyes, so
No,
good thing
you
you brought in all
don't.
the cameras.
You
and
look
I fully
fresh
wore that
as a
foundation
daze.
under my eyes, which is too dark, so
No.
I look like an old Greek woman who's like
You don't.
yelling at her kids.
You have no bags under your eyes.
I could smuggle children across the border with the
No,
bags under
honestly,
my
you
eyes.
couldn't. You couldn't do that. We would stop you
Well.
and put you in your eyes would be in a detention center.
They would be. I'm part Mexican, so they probably would be. Like, those eyes look Mexican.
No.
Get 'em!
I went to a wedding last weekend that was in the desert, and it was like camping. Like everybody had to go rough it for this wedding.
I
and
hope they don't last.
Oh my god!
I really hope it fails.
It's a real stress test of a friendship. We were sleeping in
And they
teepees.
probably won't. I mean, most things don't. But I'm sure they're a lovely couple. But
They're just wonderful. But God, 100-degree teepee in the desert.
no.
So
Come
I
to
had
my
to talk
Fire
about it.
Festival wedding.
That's exactly.
Oh,
God, you were cheating off my notes, Mateo.
Yeah,
It
is that
is
what
a
you
fire-
said? Fire
Yes,
fe-
it's a
That's
Fire
hilarious.
Festival
That's what it
themed wedding.
is.
It
Yeah.
was just. It was so. I am too Jewish to do this. It doesn't.
did you go with your boyfriend?
Yeah, and he was like, he reserved a hotel room, and I was like, we're all supposed to stay in the teepees, and he was like, if you say so, and the whole time he was like, you did this.
Yeah.
You did this to us.
No, that's where I pull out like my Italian aunts, and I'm like, we're staying in a hotel.
That's the way
Yes.
to do it. I should have been. The teepees are wonderful for Instagram.
you
You know,
say
you
that
come
on
out of the teepee and take one picture, and then you sleep in a hotel.
Yes.
Do you say that on stage like, I'm Jewish? We don't.
Yes.
This isn't
That's great.
something
My
we-
ancestors worked very hard so I wouldn't have to sleep in the desert or in camps. And oh boy, it was just so insane. So I was trying to get everything together last night because I
Yeah.
had all this like simmering
New material.
teepee rage.
Yeah.
I was writing a bit about weddings too. I'm not making a joke this weekend. Writing bits about weddings. That's so funny.
What are you exploring?
My
with
bit
weddings?
is
I love
that-
working out new jokes.
Well, I just think it's like I was trying to think of like because I have this joke about Queer Eye and my take on Queer Eye. So I was trying to think about like weddings too, and I was like, the weddings are like gays' way of like that's our secret revenge against straight people because like we're always getting punched and called a faggot. I'm like, yeah, guess who's gonna be the faggot when you're paying $400 for a white flower at your wedding? Like, bitch, we'll get you. Don't just you wait.
Yeah.
Like we jack up prices and add shit you
Hilarious.
don't need just so we watch straight people spend all their money and then we just file our nails like, got 'em. Something like that. And another thing too, I was thought this would be funny with like women who are bridesmaids are always complaining. They're like, for 6 months I have to be there every day. She's calling me and crying. I have to tell her she looks good. I have to go shopping. Like, bitch, I've been a bridesmaid for life. Like, I don't want to hear about it.
Oh my god.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
I've been re-exploring a bit about how I don't want to get married, but I do want to be engaged forever.
Oh, that's
Forever
that
and
is
ever.
hard.
Yeah.
Because is there anything better than the engaged part? First of all, you get the big display of affection that he gets down on one knee. People go, oh my God, what's happening? You get the pictures, you get the surprise. So you get that, which is like probably the epitome of all of this.
Right.
Right? It doesn't get better than that.
Right.
Then you get the ring. So you get a ring, right? Which men don't have to wear because why? Why don't men have to wear a ring when they're engaged?
Don't men get engagement rings?
No, they get
The
to
wedding
be.
band.
They're still open. They're
Yeah.
still looking.
Well, it
they're not
goes-
sold on it, but you're taken.
Well, because marriage used to be about, I don't know if you want to add this in, marriage was
Sure.
all about property.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it is.
I know. So you
It's like
get
a nice
engaged.
way of being like, I own you.
I know. It really is. And they don't have to wear. It's just weird to me. So then you get a ring and you get people being excited. No, everyone's excited when you're like, I'm engaged. If you find out someone's engaged, you go, oh, when you find out someone's married, what do you say?
You
Like,
say,
you're dead.
"Oh."
You're basically dead.
Yeah, you just go sorry or cool. Like no one cares, but being engaged, there is this enthusiasm anywhere you take that information. If you talk about your fiance, people are like, "Oh my gosh, this fiance! When did that happen?"
Yeah.
But
But even how you say when you're engaged, when you tell someone you're engaged versus you're married, there's a big difference. When you say we're engaged, you're excited. When you say you're married, there's always like you can feel them prepping. I'm married.
yes,
Oh, that it's a very, if I could describe this, it's all the muscles around the mouth turning downwards at the
Yes.
same time. It's 42
Being-
muscles heading downwards.
being
muscles.
married is perpetual the day after your birthday.
Yeah.
And being engaged is perpetual the day before your birthday.
That's a perfect fucking way to describe
And
it.
your wedding is your birthday, but like, wouldn't you want to live in a world it's the day before your birthday than a world where it's the day after your birthday?
Right.
And you're chosen. Someone wants to marry you, so you get to be like, listen, someone wants to spend their life with me. It's probably gonna happen, but you don't have to actually go through with it. And if you want to break up, you just could give a ring back. You don't have to involve a lawyer. That's the thing. I don't want to get married because I never want to have a personal relationship with a lawyer.
I guess you're right. Engagements don't have lawyers involved.
No, and if you want, the only way to assure that you will not get divorced is to never get married. That is the only way. Everyone thinks that, you can prevent divorce by going to counseling or whatever. The only real way is to not get married because everyone thinks they're not going to get divorced.
And don't
Everyone.
You think marriage counseling really should just be called "We're trying not to cheat on each other"? Don't you think that's what all couples therapy is?
I feel
At
like
least
it's
for men.
Maybe, yeah. I guess I don't know. Yeah.
Like we use words like communication and trust, but what we're really saying is don't give me something to not stick my dick in something else.
Yeah, I know.
Don't you think that's what it all boils down to, or am I just a man?
No,
and I'm a
I
piece
think
of
you're
shit?
right. I mean, that's usually what the impetus for going into therapy is like. We want to have sex with other people because you annoy me.
But
so
I think
much.
sometimes couples use other words besides like people don't quite come out and say I want to sleep with other people.
They
just
can't.
start
It's so
not
hurtful.
communicating and all this other stuff. And so then you're like trying to have a therapist, and the therapist is like softly saying to them like, "Don't cheat."
Yes, but or do.
I know.
don't
Well, then
know.
when
It's
then it
just-
happens, and then you get gonorrhea, and you're like,
my
"Oh, this
God.
sucks."
Don't cheat. I mean, you shouldn't cheat, but I mean,
Just be honest about it.
But
I
what-
didn't give someone.
that's
I got
the
it.
problem.
You know what I'm saying? And
Matteo,
gonorrhea
you're
goes
right.
away.
It's not wrong to want to cheat, but I think a lot of people will, before they do it, they don't even talk about the feeling that, because they don't feel safe in a relationship to even say to their partner, listen, I'm attracted to other people, so I'm not getting something out of this. The only time I've ever wanted to bang someone else outside of a relationship I've been in is you.
And
it's
I said, if you like a mushy dick, let's do it.
I don't know any other. Give me that old mushed up dick. Mushy dick. That's
I might be too cynical right now. I'm like post breakup, single
know.
life, so like my heart's recharging. So I'm just kind of like,
I think we need to be more open. I think couples, I've said it before, but I love this quote that Neil Brennan told me. He talked to Will Smith about his relationship, and Will Smith said that him and Jada have no deal breakers, and which means she could do anything and he'll still love her, and she knows that, and he could do.
Well, we
anything.
know that. We saw her band, and he still loves her. So there.
But to no one has that in relationships, I don't think. As
Gays.
No deal
where you could do anything to me and I'll still love you, which then gives that person the license to be honest about what they're feeling.
Right.
Because people cheat. What if before people cheated, they were able to tell their partner, I'm thinking about other people sexually, and because when
They'd
you
be in
do
a gay
cheat,
relationship.
well, you got cheated on and you didn't know about
Yeah,
it.
but we're also like not that you like a lot of gays are in open relationships, and they're just like, well, if he's coming home to me, I don't care. I'm like, but I don't have that kind of confidence.
Right. I do like that part about
Certain gay relationships.
yeah, male gay relationships is the openness and being like, we come home to each other and when we want other things that we're not providing. But that's the problem. People cheat when you're not getting what you need out of a relationship emotionally or sexually. So there's a deficiency that can be treated, and then you will stop looking elsewhere. If you're getting enough in a relationship, you shouldn't be cheating. I'm not saying that people who cheat are. Whenever someone cheats, I go, well, what was going on with their partner? And I'm not blaming their partner, but you're obviously not getting. The only times I've ever been attracted to men outside of a boyfriend that I had was because he was being lousy at showing me affection and love, and I wasn't feeling loved. So there was something to treat there that wasn't me getting outside dick. That wasn't the problem. That was just a Band-Aid for a bigger issue. So But we cheat because it's like too embarrassing or too scary to let your partner know I'm thinking about someone else. I mean, to even say that to someone, you're like, oh, if you're too scared to tell your partner that, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
I think we should all try to strive to be in that place.
Yeah.
At least that's what I would want. I would want to know if my boyfriend was starting to be like, I have a crush on a girl at work, so I need to look into this. What do you think I should do? I would like to know that.
Or you could be
It
like
would hurt.
lesbians, and lesbians don't have time to cheat because we go to bed at 4 because we have cats. And we make our own water. So
Listen, this dog rescue doesn't run itself, Matteo.
listen, we're more concerned about the dogs.
We have an Etsy page for anybody who's interested. Dog Crafts supports the shelter.
I mean, honestly, I literally think we should all just function the way lesbians do.
Which is?
Just they work, they communicate, they seek partnership, they have cats.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You know, they're just like I always say, pride posters should be 2 middle-aged lesbians paying their mortgage on time. You know what I mean? Because it's like they just get shit done. They're thoughtful. I don't know. You know, gays, it's always like.
Yeah.
It's hard to date in the gay world.
I bet it is. It doesn't, especially as someone who you crave monogamy and you don't want to be in a relationship that is open. And that's generally
least
like the.
I would, if I was gonna go there, I would want a relationship that at least within a year or two, I could. It's like forever for gays.
Sure.
I could create some kind of foundation, so I feel like it's still us, and we're in this partnership together, and we can discuss that together. But look, I know my friend Daniel. He's like right off the bat, he's like, "Yep, I can be in an open relationship, but I can still give all my attention to this guy." So some people just know how to like. I can't do it. I'm too sensitive.
Can't imagine. Yeah.
Can't. I mean, I look at you, Emmy, as someone. And by the way, Emmy Blotnick and Matteo Lane are here with me, and we're talking about relationships. Emmy Blotnick is someone who I've known for. How many years? Like 9 years or something like crazy.
That.
I feel
We're
like
pushing
I'm
a decade.
I was like, how old is Emmy? Because you perpetually to me are 21.
God bless you.
And
I'm
looks
so-
amazing.
You're 31
I just
now.
had a birthday.
So yeah, so that I'm so glad you're in your 30s now.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome.
Love and life.
Yeah.
I just turned 33. I think
Congrats.
the 30s are great because it takes off the pressure of your 20s. Where it's like 20s are like, gotta do drugs, gotta do this, gotta go out, gotta be hot, and 30s like, yeah, I like Garland, and I would just want to go to a diner.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
I
over it
really
now.
love my 30s.
I avoided all of
40s
Pride.
I'm
I wasn't
scared.
even here for any of Pride.
You weren't?
No, I was in Seattle, and then I was in LA. But Pride is also, it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be like doing drugs on steroids, fucking doing Molly, and like honoring my dead ancestors all in a day. Like
It's a lot.
It's
a
too much.
lot.
It's just too much for me, you know?
Yeah.
And also, but I think too, like, this is what we were talking about last night, where it's like, I think Pride is something where, look, there's people who can't be proud, and so it's their moment to come in
Yeah.
a day, just like be whatever they want and live in whatever fantasy they want. But I just think it's so funny that they're back at their office Monday, just visibly shaking, and their coworkers like, "So Jim, how was your weekend?" He's like, "Fine," but like the meth hasn't worn off yet. He's wearing a diaper. You know what I mean? It's like
GHB falling
oh,
out of his
yeah,
pocket.
he's literally just a mess. You know what I mean?
I was a mermaid last night. And today I am an accountant.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I know that's pride. Pride's there for a lot of people who aren't able to express themselves in their daily life, and we have the privilege of expressing ourselves however we want, whenever we want.
Absolutely.
Even if it is in Dayton, Ohio, and people wearing camouflage are telling
Mm-hmm.
you that they don't want to catch it. But, you know, that's all right. That happened.
that happened?
Well, then I asked him, because he was wearing all camouflage, and I was like, well, we've got to have something in common. I was like, what kind of music do you like? And he goes, I love Shania Twain. I was like, we have way more in common than we thought.
Like you just need someone to give you permission to blow bubbles for like 20 minutes, and
Honestly,
everything will be okay.
we should allow straight men to just blow bubbles, because don't act like you're not having fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Not that all gay men, that's what I just
There's more
literally
than both.
equated blowing bubbles to being gay, but in a lot of ways, it's true.
Do people know that when they express their hatred of gay people, like angry white men get on their Twitter or whatever and they yell about how much they hate gay people, and don't they realize that that is the number one sign you're gay? Like, hasn't it gotten to them yet that projection is a thing? Like, I think if we spread that message and showed the examples of every time someone hates something so much, they're
Right.
usually that.
Yes.
That
See,
they would maybe stop hating so much because they want to stay closeted. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like, it
feel
could
like-
prevent hate by making them be like, "You're gay,
Right.
because you hate gay people so much." It's very clear to me you're gay.
See, the
and you
people-
hate it
You're
about yourself.
curious. You at least want a little taste.
Oh, you
just
definitely.
wanna-
Anyone who is outspoken and hates gay people and is threatened by it, it's because you're gay, or at least you've had gay thoughts and you hate it about yourself. And because your family didn't make you feel safe and you don't like who you are and your community doesn't make you feel safe. And so you're having to hide it. And if you're mad about anything I ever am like, I'm so mad about that person, I hate her comedy or I hate his comedy, it's because I'm threatened by it and I want it so bad and I'm so jealous. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a shit. When I really hate something, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I
But
actually am
see,
not bothered, you know what I mean?
I
Yes.
agree to a certain extent, but I also think what's more dangerous than that, because I think that's actually less prevalent. People with on that kind, like the Larry
Really?
Craigs and stuff.
Yeah.
The more prevalent is the passive hatred, or the what's normal to them. So like like, oh, I'll hang out and talk to gay people, but I don't take you seriously. I won't
Yes.
like and like being gay, I've had a great run so far in my career, but there's so many times I'm taken less seriously because I'm gay. I'm not seen as a threat. I'm not I'm not credible because I'm gay. Like not being seen as a threat because of my homosexuality and being sort of swept to the side is to me way more hurtful than someone being adamantly angry about being
That's
being
a really
gay.
good point.
So
Can you give me? I mean, I don't mean to be like, well, state your examples, but like, but how do you feel like you've been marginalized or not taken seriously or as a threat? Do you mean talent-wise as a threat?
Prove your plight, Matteo.
well,
Perform for us right now and prove how.
I think now I've proven myself as like a hard worker.
It's a new segment on the show.
Prove yourself. I'm like, one time
There's a lot of anti-Semitism in the world, and
I did a late night set that never aired because the producers felt it was too gay. But
That's
looking back at it
horrible.
now, I'm glad they didn't air it because I hated my outfit and I did a couple jokes. I'm like, it wasn't ready.
It turns out you don't want
wasn't
it to air
ready.
because you're
Yeah.
you're a little being a
I
little
was
too
like,
gay
the
about
outfit
it.
was too gay.
These
Um,
rollerblades were a bad choice.
Right. So at first I was angry about it, but
They
now I'm
said it
like,
was
she's
too
right.
gay?
What she said was, we want you to talk less about. So I did talk about dating and my brother and stuff like that, and they only wanted me to do a joke the very end about my older brother being gay.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't let me talk about anything else. Like, want you to come back and redo it, but don't talk about this, don't talk about that.
So
don't
the
talk about that.
message was clear.
Right, and so I said, "Oh, okay." I was like, "But I said what they said was, we just want it to be that fun Matteo we love." And I said, "So let me get this straight. You think I'm talking too much about being gay, but like talking about dating isn't gay. It's just like I need you to be clear with me. You either think it's too gay." Like, she wasn't being clear with me.
Yep.
She just said, "We want you to avoid those topics." That's what she said.
Okay, well that's.
And I was like, "Well, all right." And then I said, "No, I'm not going to come back." So a year later, I did Seth Meyers. And they didn't give a shit what I said.
yeah.
That's
But also the booker is Barbara Streisand's manager's niece or goddaughter, and so
Okay.
like she's she knows everything gay.
She's been in the basement mall.
Yeah, looking at the dolls. So stuff like that, or stuff where like what's interesting about being gay too in this industry is like there's no famous gay male comedian in the sense of like a Bill Burr, Richard Pryor, George Carlin. Like, they just don't exist. And unfortunately, people like Mario Cantone doesn't get the credit he deserves. And there are famous gay men who are not out who have specials. So there's no gay male who's just out doing straight stand-up. And so when gay men start doing stand-up, you start getting pushed, and people will say things like, "You talk too much about being gay," or and it's like, well, no one's ever talked about this without it being the butt of the joke. So for once, in the first time in 70 years, can I address it?
Yeah.
Can I just be myself? Like, because I think straight people get away with talking about like you can talk about marriage or dating or the difference between men and women for 20 minutes, and no one will question it. If I do 2 bits in a row that are both about me being gay,
then
it's
you're
too
a gay
much.
comic,
It's
and
too much.
it's a gay
Right.
act.
And I don't mind being a gay comic. I am a gay
Right, of
comic.
course.
But I mean, it's like those are the kinds of things where it's like I'm not taken seriously. And what sucks, like, I'll never do a show with another gay person.
Yep.
They won't book 2 gay men.
I was going to
together.
say, and I don't mean to just grab onto your plight, but it sounds a lot like being a female comic.
There
There's a
is
lot of similarities.
Because there's probably just as many, and there's a lot of, like, I don't know, like, yeah, there's less gay comedians, but you make such a great point about there isn't one gay comic who's just gay and out there and like the
as famous as
as
Jerry
famous-
Seinfeld.
Absolutely.
Now, a
and
lot
there
of
needs to
women,
be
a lot
one.
of great women.
Ellen?
DeGeneres,
Yeah.
Wanda Sykes, Judy Gold, Margaret Cho,
Interesting.
Tig Notaro. I mean, there's so many wonderful queer women who have made it and really opened up the door for all of us. But I think we're now just waiting for hopefully,
I think it could be you, and I think that
or Joel Kim Booster or Julio Torres or Solomon Giorgio or
Yes.
There's no shortage of talent. It's
yeah,
just it's
tons
insane.
of talented gay people where it's like it's so exciting. Like I don't feel competitive with anyone because I see like Joel Kim Booster just got a TV show on NBC, and to me I'm like, oh my god, this is only making us more credible and making it like go. You know what I mean?
We need more.
Jabuki. I'm like, just go, take over
Because
the world.
you're
Like
right.
you're amazing.
People only give opportunities when there's a precedent for it. This
Right.
industry doesn't like to take any risks. Whenever a risk has been taken, it's by some kind of outlier. It's not the norm. People only are interested. I only get things now because I can point to everything I've received, and it's because of the first thing that someone took a chance on and gave
Right.
me. And because once I was on MTV, then all of a sudden other networks were like, okay, now we want you. Whereas
Right.
before they didn't acknowledge me. And everyone wants things that are already proven to be working and popular.
Right.
Everyone wants to be popular. And you're right. Someone needs to take a risk, which isn't at all a risk.
I know.
And give
I just put my hour. Sorry, now I'm just like talking too much. But I put my hour together after years of working on it. This year, I really honed it because I've been on the road every weekend, and so I just took it out to buyers to hope to like
good.
get an hour. I mean, but my fear comes back where it's like too gay, people won't watch it. Not gay, not like those irrational fears are in my head, and it's like I have to keep fighting those like saboteurs in my head where it's like
Right.
no, like I should feel confident in the material I'm producing. But there's been so many times that people have just been like,
It's just the entitlement of like a straight booker gatekeeper type of person to like cherry pick elements of your personality or like of who you are. It's insane to tell someone we like these parts of you and not these parts of you. Like that does not extend to straight comics, I don't think.
No.
Sometimes I feel like we get dinged for sex stuff sometimes.
That's the only thing that I can kind of point to as being like where someone will say, because I did an interview very recently, a phone interview, and the guy goes, "Now, do you consider yourself a sex comic?" And I go,
"What the fuck is that?"
I go, "Yeah, actually, yeah." I go,
I blow men on stage while doing jokes.
I
said,
juggle pins
Yeah.
and I get I bend over and then I get my chainsaws going and
yeah. I said yes because I'm tired of fighting it, and I was like,
Yeah.
actually, I do talk about sex. Probably the bulk of my act is about sex, but it's not because I'm trying to. It's just I talk about. This is my stock answer. I talk about what I'm interested in, and I happen to be interested in sex. It's just always been interesting to me since I found out about it.
And guess what?
All I wanna talk about.
Everyone loves hearing about sex.
So then, listen. So I go, yes, I do consider myself a sex comic, and he goes, "Oh, okay. So, well, if you were gonna say no, I have several examples that would
You fucking.
He
that's
had
a trap.
he had a question ready that he still said after the fact. He goes,
What is his name?
I know.
I will find him.
I know.
Yeah.
I will
He
send
still
the gay mafia.
Because if you were going to say no, I was going to point to your latest Conan appearance because, I mean, I almost had to turn it off because it was so over the
Go
top. And I was
fuck
like,
yourself.
by the way, this interview was for Hustler.
Oh my god.
He was a nice guy, but he had a question that I go, you could have skipped that because I answered yes. But instead he goes, well, if you said no, I was going to refute it. And I was like, well, I didn't say no.
You know, I admire someone. I admire someone like you. I actually really admire Joel Kim Booster also because he was talking about like he goes in depth about sex experiences, and unfortunately, straight audiences can get turned off by that. And he just doesn't give a shit.
Love it.
And I still have that fear of like, oh, am I gonna get the Like, I admire people like you and him who are able to like go out there and talk about things with just because it's what we're all feeling and thinking.
Yeah.
I
just storm the gates.
Yeah.
There's that's nice to hear. I feel like though I've gotten away with it by virtue of being a young girl. A lot of times talking about sex, it's like it's a little bit more palatable, as you were saying. Like gay sex to some people still makes them uncomfortable, and it's like challenging them. Whereas I think a girl talking about sex, it's like people go, oh, she's just using that to like titillate or whatever, which has never been my agenda. But I think that people give me the benefit of the doubt because it's like, oh, it's a cute girl talking about sex. So part of me really worries as I age. People are going to be like, we don't want to hear this old lady talking about sex. And I do fear aging because of that, because I feel like, have I gotten away with more because I've been young and people don't mind hearing a young girl talk about her sex life?
No.
Whereas like an older woman, I'm not going to stop because I have nothing else to talk about, but
But
I
also,
literally,
too,
that's all I still care about talking about.
You've proven to yourself and everyone you know how to write jokes.
I mean,
The topic doesn't matter. If you're going to talk about Taco Bell, it's going to have the same passion and joke writing. So
Yes.
it's like, you're interested in sex. You're going to be interested in sex for a long time. Talk about
Hopefully.
it. Just talk about it.
and when I'm not interested in it, I'll talk about being not interested in it, which is
Yeah.
kind
That's
of
also
around
good,
the corner
too.
for me. I'm not
Just
kidding you.
around the riverbed.
I have come once less.
Are those new pants?
No, hand-me-downs from my brother.
Brother.
My brother got too skinny
They're
for him.
cool.
Do you like them?
Yeah, I really
They're a little
like 'em.
baggy.
They're awesome.
All right, cool.
Okay, glasses, gonna stay on. Hat,
Would you rather 'em
backward.
off?
Why are you trying all these new looks right now?
Who?
You had your hat on Oh, I guess we're taping something,
Yeah,
so
so
you
you
want
can
your
see
face.
me.
Why not just no hat?
Because my hair is a mess. I'm a messy boy.
put it back on.
Yeah, we should put everything on. There, is this better? And I look famous.
No, you look,
Like Unabomber?
no, you look like you're a guy that's about to go get a hand job at a massage parlor, and you don't want anyone recognizing
You know
you.
me well.
This is the look.
I actually came from one. The beard's a little long. It's a little much, I think.
Who told you that? Your girlfriend?
No, she likes it.
That much?
I don't know why.
It's got like 17 different colors in it.
I think she wants me to look as ugly as possible so no one else will want to fuck me.
Oh yeah, I've felt that way before.
Really?
Or I've
You're
just
like, oh, that shirt looks good. And
no,
it's
but
like,
I'm not like her. I like when people want to fuck my boyfriend,
Okay.
but she doesn't trust you clearly.
Well, she shouldn't because I just came from a rub and tug. I
So
do it.
she's orchestrated this whole look of unfuckability.
Yes. Yeah, she pointed out
She
it.
told you to wear your own
She pointed-
podcast T-shirt today.
Look, a lot of cool people wear their own
Does she-
merchandise.
Okay.
I didn't want to wear it on. I feel bad because we're on the other show, but I feel like
What are you doing?
I'm showing the pedals.
Okay, well we get it. No more of that.
I knew it'd piss you off. I gave you a shirt.
Yeah, you did.
Are you ever gonna wear it?
Probably not.
I was thinking we get a photo and you could post it.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that for you. But
I-
then you can take the shirt back. I don't know. I just don't. I'm
It's a
not, where am
cool
I gonna-
shirt though. It's good material.
It is good material. It's just not like something I would ever want on my body.
If you liked this clip from You Up with Nikki Glaser, please share it with someone that you care about. Spread the word. It means a lot to me.
Get it out there, everybody. Get the word out. Because we're the best.
This isn't a we that you join me sometimes.
We're here every Monday through Thursday.
Any other information that you have about the show? 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
it's a
so
good
full
show. We get down to things, the nitty gritty.
What does that mean? Everything you
We
watching
tackle
you,
subjects that not a lot of people will tackle. We're not afraid of anything.